name's Kevin Lynch and I teach the Introduction to Psychology course, which is an 11-week course that goes over the main topics in psychology, from things like cognitive psychology to abnormal psychology, and looks at things around therapy. My background is in marketing. I have an undergraduate degree in marketing. I then went on to do a conversion course into psychology and subsequently completed a master's in applied psychology, which is taking the principles of psychology and kind of applying them in the real world. I work on a project that's looking at antidepressant treatment response, so trying to create a tool that can tell who will respond to an antidepressant and who won't. We work on projects that are quite close to the clinic, and again, things that make real impact in people's lives. They come from kind of a wide variety of backgrounds, I'd say. Some people come from business, they're interested in the kind of the consumer side of things. A lot of people may have worked in things like care homes or nursing previously, and they just want to understand more of the theory about why people behave the way they do. A lot of the people in the course have either maybe they're kind of on a journey of self-discovery themselves, or have come in contact with mental health issues, or work in a facility where they might see things like dementia or Alzheimer's disease, and they really want to understand what drives human behaviour and kind of how that interacts with mind and body. So we'll start with kind of an introduction to psychology, what it is, what it's not. Then we look at areas like developmental psychology, abnormal psychology, cognitive psychology, and we try and break the lectures up with real-world application examples as well. So we'll do the basics in things like cognitive psychology and visual perception, and then look at what happens when things like visual perception go wrong, and how that manifests in brain and behaviour. We look at therapy and therapeutic practices, and we'll touch on a kind of a wide variety of them, from psychoanalysis to humanistic approaches. Look at where one is appropriate and where one isn't. We cover briefly social psychology as well, which looks at kind of groups and group formation and how you act different in different social situations. We also cover behaviorism, so how reward and punishment affect behaviour, and how that's applied in things like treating children with autism in terms of ABA, and how behavioural analysis has developed throughout the years. It's not very heavily assignment driven. A lot of the class is interactive as well, so it's kind of about learning the principles and almost the way to approach psychology in different areas in it. It doesn't require a lot of scientific knowledge to a certain degree. It doesn't require a lot of biology either, although we do touch on parts of kind of brain and kind of brain function and things like that. But I try and really pare it back so that people kind of any discipline can understand it. In terms of intensity, we kind of skim the top of a lot of the areas of psychology without trying to make it too intense, and really like interactive and engaging classes where it's not just death by PowerPoint. So the final assignment was to pick a TED Talk of your interest in any area of psychology and do a short 10-minute presentation on it. Although a lot of people are very nervous about presentations, it's actually a very good way to even experience some of the areas of psychology yourself. We look at anxiety and stress and things like that as well, and how to manage that, but also it's setting yourself a challenge to get up in front of a few people and speak. But afterwards, you get that feeling of accomplishment, and you compare that back to different types of therapy, goal setting and things like that, which we'll have discussed as well. So it's very applicable. And I also give students, because I know that public speaking is like one of the #1 fears, I also give students the option to either present it at their desk, not use PowerPoint slides, and just run through their talk as a conversation if they feel more comfortable. And we also try and do some icebreakers at the start of the class, where I'll get them all to pair into threes, have a discussion first, so that they don't feel as nervous standing up to present.